The central umpires with the ball in the centre, players taking up their respective ends. Looks like Eastern Suburbs kicking to the town end, Anakie Lara kicking to the north end of the Western Oval.
All set for a big game, Barry.
Yes, be very interesting. Paul coming back from senior football to watch the under 17s here this afternoon. Right, there's the siren to start this game off. The umpire with the ball. A lovely bounce in the centre. Favours the Anakie Lara players, but picked up here and taken away for Eastern Suburbs by Gary Whitmore. His kick goes down, marked at the half-back for Lara. Kicked across towards the centre. Lara in front, pushed as they take the mark, and this is Matt Truan. Truan in the centre of the ground, kicks the ball down towards the centre half-forward. Picked up for Anakie Lara here. Screws the ball round towards the half-forward flank. Chases after his own kick, goes close to the boundary line and beats the players over and will have a throw-in. The Anakie Lara player there kicking that ball forward was Kevin Green. Right. The boundary throwing, Green in front for Lara. Over the back it goes. Picking it up for Lara is Adrian Downs. He's caught with the ball too high and will take the first free kick for the afternoon. Right, on the centre wing. He kicks the ball down towards centre half forward. They fly high up nicely there. Was Brendan Jolly for the Anakie Lara side, who incidentally comes second in the league best and fairest here for the under 17s here this year. Be kicking from about 45 to 50 metres from goal. Comes in a lovely kick off the boot, floats to the right hand side. Up they go, over the back of the pack it goes, and the first score for the afternoon comes on the board to Anakie Lara, where we see Anakie Lara with kicking one behind 1 point. Eastern Suburbs are yet to score.
No wind advantage, I wouldn't think, Barry?
No, a lovely kick in from fullback, goes over the 50-metre line where players jostling out there. Mark dropped by Mark Truan. A quick handball out by the Eastern Suburbs side, tapped on by Lara. Unfortunately, they overrun it. They pick it up here through the agency of Stephen Wilcox. He's besieged by players out there. A quick kick from Lara goes down to the half-forward line where we see Richard Zumbach come through for Eastern Suburbs. Scrambly play over there on the far side. The umpire letting it go. Kicked off the ground by Eastern Suburbs. A kick towards the centre sees Lara pick the ball up, held without it there, and will receive the free kick. And the ball is kicked away here, but umpire given the benefit of doubt and Anakie Lara to take this kick. The free kick has gone to Stuart Hazelton. He kicks the ball wide out towards half-forward line. Tapped away there for Eastern Suburbs by Whitcomb. Comes to the ground. Players scramble the ball wide. Anakie Lara desperate on the ground there, trying to pick this ball up. Held on to it, and the free kick goes to Eastern Suburbs. Eastern Suburbs right on the square, kicked the ball down towards the half-forward line, but coming out there taking a nice mark for Anakie Lara is Neil Graham. No, sorry, it was number 8, Daniel Rees. A kick out wide where Anakie Lara come through Kevin Green, but Eastern Suburbs kicked the ball up towards the half-forward line. The ball goes over the line and out, and we'll have a throw-in. We've been going 3 minutes into this, the first quarter, brought to you by Guest Video Productions. And players taking a little time to settle down, Paul.
Yes, probably a bit tough, like being a grand final. Nerves they'll be all pumped up.
Right, that ball went out of bounds on the full, and we've had to kick back in by the Lara side, and the ball's run across the line before Lee Troop for the Eastern Suburbs side could pick it up. Waiting on the boundary umpire to bring the ball back in. Players set themselves. Anakie Lara get the tap down through Kane McLeod. Still scrambly play over there. Picked up in a quick kick forward for by Chris Wojcik for Anakie Lara. Another handball forward where we see Eastern Suburbs get the ball on the half-back line, dodging and weaving there. A handball towards the boundary line. Picked up nicely by Anakie Lara coming through here. Kicked the ball down towards the half-forward line, but too wide, and the free kick will go to Eastern Suburbs. Be taken by Richard Zumbach. He kicks the ball in towards centre half forward, thumped away from Adrian Downs of the Anakie Lara side. Picked up there nicely for Eastern Suburbs and kicked wide out here towards the wing, where we see Eastern Suburbs pick the ball up, grab, drop the ball, play on calls the umpire. He's got a teammate there to help him, and that teammate there was David Sears. Kicks down towards the half-forward line, but picked up for Anakie Lara by Jason Greaves. He's tackled. A handball to a teammate in the centre who thumps the ball down towards centre half-forward. Bit of pushing and shoving down there. The ball goes over the back of the pack. Leading for the ball for Anakie Lara, we have Brendan Jolly. It goes close to the boundary line and we'll have a throw in. Right, we've been travelling just on 5 minutes here into the first quarter. Right, the throw in, players set themselves, up they go. A nice tap out there by Jamie Rundle for Eastern Suburbs. Sees the ball make the 50-metre line. Tap forward again by Anakie Lara. In there fighting for Anakie Lara's Kane McLeod. Tries to kick the ball off the ground. They're still diving on it. Eastern Suburbs with a handball. Get the ball wide to Jason McDonald, was it? His handball goes wide, picked up by Anakie Lara. Screw kick down towards the in between the forward pocket, picked up there and kicked forward by Brendan Jolly, down towards the pocket. The ball bounces, it bounces back, nicely tapped in, but the ball was over the line and we'll have another throw in. At 10 metres round from the Anakie Lara point post, the throw in. Thumped away there for Eastern Suburbs by Jacobs. The umpire's picked out a free kick and it will go to Eastern Suburbs down there in the back pocket. Kicked out towards the centre wing, up high, couldn't take the mark there for Eastern Suburbs. Nice pick up here by Gary Whitcomb. He runs round the boundary line, caught, drops the ball, and we'll have a free kick going to Anakie Lara. Right, Anakie Lara take that free kick through Jason Greaves, kicks the ball down towards the half forward line, the 50-metre line. Balls run across the line and we'll have another throw in.
Very even, Barry. There's no side can get a break, can they?
No, it's going between their half back lines and desperate football to start this game off. Right, the throw in, thumped away again by Jacob for Eastern Suburbs. Kicked off the ground there by Kane McLeod for Anakie Lara, but it's scrambled across the line and we'll have another throw in.
Oh, he's given it on the full, I think.
Has he? He must have. Yes, he has too, Paul. Right, Anakie Lara out there on the 50-metre line. That's a short pass goes to a teammate there. Picked up and handball forward by Brendan Jolly. Coming across the half-back line as Eastern Suburbs. They get the ball out wide. Tap forward and here for Lara by Matt Truan. He can't pick the ball up. Scrambly play and the umpire will move in and ball it up.
Crowd building up, Barry, slowly but surely.
Yes, I'd say mainly parents at the moment, Paul.
Yes.
Right, the bounce of the ball. Lara up high there through the agency of Kevin Green gets a tap down, but Eastern Suburbs kick the ball out wide towards the boundary line and we'll have another throw in. We've got big Jacob in the ruck here for Eastern Suburbs. He gets a tap down. Eastern Suburbs couldn't take advantage of that tap down there. It comes out where we see them pick it up. They kick the ball towards the centre. Players set themselves up, they go over the back of the pack. It comes thumped forward by Anakie Lara, running onto the ball. Eastern Suburbs here try to pick it up through the agency of Mick O'Leary. His kick goes out towards the wing where we see it picked up nicely out there. It looks like Brendan Ingenberg as it kicks the ball down. A one-handed mark attempted by the full forward down there and Craig Stevenson couldn't hang on to it. Coming through there, Eastern Suburbs picked the ball up. Short kick goes nowhere. They're scrambling the ball towards the boundary line, the Anakie Lara players, and we'll have another throw in.
Barry, I believe the Anakie Lara side is very bit of a fairy tale dream come true. It's they've sort of formed their own squad, the boys, and the under-17s, and they've made their way to the grand final.
Well, that's a good effort, Paul. Young kids starting off in football, it's good to see them, and if they've got some input themselves, it makes it all the better. And out there the ball goes down to the wing, but a free kick paid against Anakie Lara here for flying too high and not taking the mark and pushing his opponent out. Eastern Suburbs now kick the ball down towards the half forward flank, and a nice mark taken out there right on the half forward line for Eastern Suburbs. They kicked the ball down towards their forward line, and the big fella there, Stevenson, couldn't take it. It's comes out where we see for Anakie Lara as Daniel Rees get the ball. He kicked the ball wide, and I think it's gone over the boundary line on the full, and the free kick to be taken by Eastern Suburbs. At this play, it'd be no more than about 30 to 35 metres out, but he's right on the boundary line. Comes in with the drop punt, fires towards goal. Up they go in the forward line. The ball tapped through for one behind to Eastern Suburbs. So the scores now are dead level at the 9.5 minute mark of the first quarter. We have Anakie Lara on one behind and Eastern Suburbs one behind. Right, oh, not a very good kicking from Anakie Lara here. Goes close to the boundary line. The players, luckily, they got to it, flip it back in. Picked up here for Eastern Suburbs and kicked forward by Mick O'Leary and awaiting arms of a teammate there. Unattended, no more than 20 metres out from goal, has taken a nice chest mark, and this is Nick Kondaris. Bad marking there by the Anakie Lara backman. Right, Nick's kick goes high, but he's pulled it across the body, and 1 point is the result. So we have for Eastern Suburbs now, they've kicked 2 behinds, 2 points, Anakie Lara 1 point, and that is at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. Right, waiting on the Anakie Lara fullback to come in. He kicked this in undecided, comes out towards the grandstand side. Players set themselves up high there. Getting the ball away for Anakie Lara is Neil Graham. Kicks the ball towards the centre. Nice play by Jamie Rundle. Runs onto the ball. Kicks from the edge of the square. Straight down the ground towards centre to the full forward. Stevenson juggles the mark. Play on calls the umpire. He has a flying shot for goal, and I think he brought up a six-pointer for the Eastern Suburbs side. Yes, he is a big fella, Paul, for under 17s, and that takes Eastern Suburbs now to 1 goal to 8. Anakie Lara on 1 straight behind, and that came up, the first goal for the grand final here this afternoon came up at the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. Good play by Stevenson then. He juggled that ball. The umpire called play on. He turned around quickly and had a flying shot for goal and straight through the centre. Right, the ball back in the centre now with the central umpire. Right, the bounce of the ball, up they go. Up high, Jacobs gets the tap down, picked up here for Eastern Suburbs by Whitcomb. He kicks the ball around towards the half-forward line. And a nice mark. No, play on calls the umpire. Kicked off the ground by Lara. Goes down to Adrian Downs of Eastern Suburbs. His handball goes into the centre. Overrun there by Stuart Hazelton for Anakie Lara. Picked up and kicked forward by Anakie Lara down towards the 50-metre line. But a nice mark taken down there for Eastern Suburbs by David Sears. He kicks the ball wide out towards the wing. Anakie Lara in front couldn't take the mark. Nicely picked up here and driven forward for Eastern Suburbs by Mick O'Leary. Kicks the ball down towards the 50-metre line, where we see the ball run across the line and over the line before Ricky Troop for Eastern Suburbs could control the ball. Boundary umpire brings the ball back in. Jacobs up high again, thumps the ball forward. Trying to pick the ball up for Eastern Suburbs here is Carl Lingenberg, but he gets it back in. Coming Anakie Lara, get a quick kick out, where we see the big fella here in Brendan Jolly get the ball. A screw kick to it, goes nowhere. Coming through also strongly there was Anakie Lara. Eastern Suburbs with handball trying to get this out. Gone. Anakie Lara get the ball. Good shepherding there. Sees the ball come out wide, where we see Adrian Downs in the van here for Anakie Lara. Quick handball over to a teammate. Nice play to the running player Aaron Smith. He kicks the ball down towards the pocket, where it eludes the leading Jason Durham down there and goes across the line, and we'll have a throw in. No more than about 5 metres around from the Anakie Lara behind post. That was a good build up there by young Downs for Anakie Lara with the handball across to Aaron Smith. Right, the boundary line throw in, up they go. The ball comes over the back. Eastern Suburbs pick the ball up. A long handball here, finds a teammate at centre half back. He's kicked towards the centre, but no one home for Eastern Suburbs. And a nice mark taken for Anakie Lara by, is it Aaron Smith? He kicks the ball down, and an equally good mark taken down there for Anakie Lara by number 14, and this is Jason McDonald. Be kicking from about 48 metres from goal. Comes in. A nice kick off the boot. Right down towards the goal line. Floats at the last minute. Players jostling down there. Picked up in a screw. And a lovely kick. If this has gone through, that was by Matt Trewin. He picked the ball up in dead centre between the goal and behind post and screwed it over his shoulder, and Matt Trewin brings up Anakie Lara's first goal for the afternoon, and that came up at the 14-minute mark of the first quarter, where we have Eastern Suburbs on 1 goal to 8, Anakie Lara 1 goal 1-7.
Nice little snap there, Barry.
Yes, from where he was, he thought it was rushed through for a start, but quick thinking and a nice goal for the Anakie Lara side. The ball back in the centre. A nice bounce by the central umpire. Up they go. Jacobs again for Eastern Suburbs. Thumps the ball forward. Coming across Anakie Lara. Trapped there for Eastern Suburbs by Lee Troop. Coming out towards the boundary line. Anakie Lara troops in there again for Eastern Suburbs. The umpire decides that it's time to have a ball up and moves in to take charge here. Right on the GDFL Steggles logo, which had us filled there for a few minutes. Right, the bounce of the ball favours Anakie Lara. They thump the ball forward, picked up here and kicked forward for Eastern Suburbs by Carl Ingenberg. It goes down towards the half-forward line. Anakie Lara come over the back of the pack, thumped the ball close to the boundary line. Stevenson comes through, couldn't control it for Eastern Suburbs, and the umpire will move in and ball it up. Right in front of the grandstand here at the Western Oval. The umpire comes in. The ball thumped forward by Anakie Lara. Caught with the ball there, but the umpire's giving him the benefit of the doubt. Was the Lara player in Adrian Downs, and the umpire will have another bounce. Bounces the ball on the half-forward line. Going through there for Eastern Suburbs was Finley. It goes down towards the half-forward line. Picked up in a quick kick over the shoulder by Stuart Hazelton for Anakie Lara. It goes across where we see Adam Larkins for Anakie Lara. Try to get the ball. He grabs an opponent there with the ball. Drags him to the ground. Picked up by Eastern Suburbs. A handball forward. Anakie Lara coming through. Scrambly play in the centre half forward for Eastern Suburbs. Sees the ball come out where it's picked up nicely for Anakie Lara and kicked forward by Kane McLeod down towards the half-forward line, but good play in defence here for Eastern Suburbs by Richard Zumbach. Kicks the ball down towards the half-forward line. Coming across is Anakie Lara. They kick the ball wide out towards the wing where we see Eastern Suburbs in the van here, and the mark has been paid. A little bit lucky there was the Eastern Suburbs player in Sean McCallum. Right, a quick handball to the running teammate in Rundle. He kicks the ball down towards the half-forward line. Anakie Lara coming across the half-back line there, trying to control the ball. He's got 4 opponents to beat down there, and no one gets advantage. Jumping on the ball, Eastern Suburbs. It comes out where Anakie Lara come across the 50-metre line. A quick kick around over, too long for his opponent. Nicely picked up and kicked forward for Anakie Lara. Grabbed for Anakie Lara there by Kevin Green. Kicks the ball down where a mark has been paid to Anakie Lara, and it was paid to number 23 in Wilcox. He handballs foolishly, should have had a kick down there, but play goes on. Coming across is Jacob for Eastern Suburbs. Kicks the ball into the centre. It's all Eastern Suburbs here. Running for the ball nicely onto it, and nice pick-up there was Finley for Eastern Suburbs. Kicks the ball down and has found a teammate about 45 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle. If he turns a fraction, we can pick his number up.
Just can't make it out.
Comes in now. They drop punt. A nice kick too, but it's gone wide. Close to the boundary line. That was Brett McCallum for Eastern Suburbs there, and unfortunately the ball has gone over the line, and we'll have a throw in.
Real game in our hands here, Barry.
Yes, a good game. Thrown in, the ball thumped forward by Anakie Lara. Quick kick off the ground, comes down to centre half back, but picked up in a short kick across by Eastern Suburbs. They spill the mark there, should have taken it, took his eyes off it, but he couldn't have. He picked it up and played on was Condaris. Handballs down, good play here by Anakie Lara. Hazelton is it, kicks the ball wide, but out there is for Eastern Suburbs again is McCallum. Brett McCallum kicks the ball back into an unattended player here in Whitcomb. His kick goes down towards a full forward who leads out. He might be big and slow, but that was a well-judged mark there. He's hobbling a bit too. I think he ran into the point post earlier on down there onto the bike track, but that's a good mark taken down there by Craig Stevenson, and he'd be no more than 20-25 metres out. Comes in, stabs at the ball, and it's gone wide. He should have kicked that, but he looks to be in a little bit of trouble down there, and that's Eastern Suburbs third behind, and that comes up at the 18.5-minute mark of the first quarter. The guest video production first quarter, we see Eastern Suburbs 1 goal 3-9, Anakie Lara 1 goal 1-7.
Oh, wetsuit might be a bit tight, Barry.
Yes, he's... Yeah, even the young fellas are into the wetsuits now, Paul. Right, the kick in from fullback goes out wide where Anakie Lara come over the top, couldn't take the mark.
Trouble.
Wojcik it was felled as he kicked the ball and will receive the free kick. Right, he'd be between the centre half back and fullback. He kicks the ball out towards the wing. Eastern Suburbs couldn't take the mark out there. Running onto the ball for Anakie Lara's Matt Truan. He kicks the ball down towards the half-forward line, and a nice mark taken down there for Anakie Lara by Kane McLeod. He kicked into the man on the mark. He didn't go behind it. He tried to come from the side and delivered the ball across ground and kicked into the man on the mark, and the ball's over the line. Right, he goes up for the ruck now, but coming across the back for Eastern Suburbs was Jason Vag to get that tap down. The ball close to the boundary line where we see it over and out, and we'll have another throw in at the 19.5-minute mark of the first quarter, brought to you by Guest Video Productions. Right, the boundary line throw in. Up high, Anakie Lara thumped the ball forward, but it's shucked there by Eastern Suburbs. They kicked the ball wide as the siren sounds to end the first quarter here this afternoon, which right on the 20-minute mark of the first quarter we have Anakie Lara on 1 goal 1-7, Eastern Suburbs a 1 goal 3-9 in what was quite a very good quarter of football, junior football here for the first quarter of the Under-17 Division 2 Grand Final. Both sides a little bit scrambly, but quite a good game, Paul.
Very good game. We're in for a great afternoon of football, I think.
Right, we'll take a break.